What's up, XFL Nation? This is Bird Gang 114. I'm Ed,
And I'm Cam.
and today we're going to be talking about the Week 5 predictions. And we're going to start. Before we start, we'd like to say if you could like, subscribe, and possibly leave a comment, we would appreciate it. We always get back to the people with the comments. And so let's start off Week 5 with our first game, the Seattle Dragons at the Houston Roughnecks. I will, and Seattle's getting 13 points. So I'm going to say I believe Houston's going to win. They have way too much firepower. They're just a better team. I believe with the connection between PJ Walker and Cam Phillips, even though it wasn't on display last week, I think it'll come back. The defense is good enough to win the game. I think they outscored Seattle. I hope Seattle starts B.J. Daniels. He looked like he could possibly. He was bringing the team back last week against St. Louis, so I like what I saw there. It's going to be a hard game because Seattle's on the road. What do you think, Cam?
I got Houston winning just because they're home. I think this game's gonna be really close. I feel like Seattle Dragons is gonna, their defense is gonna keep the game alive. I feel like it's gonna be closer because of that. So I think Houston's gonna win, but not by the points. I got Dragons.
I'll say you take the points with the Dragons, but
Yeah,
Houston wins the game, but the
yeah,
Dragons with the
definitely.
points.
Yeah.
On the second game, we got the New York Guardians at the Dallas Renegades, and I'll let you go first, Cameron.
I want to see how the new Dallas quarterback does. Like Nelson, I don't know his first name, P. Nelson, whatever. I want to see how he's gonna do against the New York Guardians. But I got the New York Guardians winning this game, even though Dallas is I didn't give him right.
Yeah, Dallas is giving the Guardians 7.5.
Yeah, I got New York winning this game. I think Luis Perez is going to have a great game.
I agree with you. I think Luis Perez is a good quarterback. I think he should have been starting since the beginning. We've known about him because we watched him in the AFL, and he was also on our Eagles team as well in the offseason. He never actually made it to the roster because they had to drop him because of Josh McGowan. But I would say we like Perez. He has a command of the huddle. He seems to give better poise. He sees the field more. New York's defense is playing good, and I just see that with Dallas, unfortunately, with Landry Jones out and the new quarterback in, it's going to go back to like what it was week one, dink and dunk. And I think they're just going to jump the routes, and I think New York will win regardless of the points. On Sunday, we got the first game. It's the St. Louis Battlehawks at the DC Defenders. As you know, me and Cam's favorite team is the DC Defenders, but they've sucked the last 2 weeks. There's no way about it. And St. Louis is on a roll. It's at DC. The only thing is, I mean, DC is going to try their best. I just don't think, unfortunately, I would love to see them to win, but realistically, I just don't. There's too much going on with that team right now. Cordell Jones is questioning himself. I don't. The receivers aren't on the same page. The defense is like a sieve. I just think St. Louis is too much for them with RPOs and what's going on. So I would take St. Louis with the points. They're given 3.5. I just think, unfortunately, this could be the end of DC's hopes. I think St. Louis in a rout.
I'm gonna go with DC winning this game. They want it. It's gonna make them want it more, and that's why I got DC winning this game. They need this win. Now as the St. Louis Battlehawks, they don't need this win as much, but DC needs this right now. And I feel like DC is gonna have a big start in the game, but then St. Louis is gonna come back. But I got DC winning this game.
All right. And the final game, the primetime game on Saturday, it's a 9 o'clock game. It's the Tampa Bay Vipers at the LA Wildcats. I'll let you go first, Cam.
But to me, this depends if Spruce and Carter's going to play for LA. If they are playing, I have LA winning this game. If if the guys aren't there, now I got Vipers winning this game. So I'm gonna say it depends on it, but I want to see how Vipers does against LA.
I agree with you about that. If Spruce and Carter are playing, I think LA is a much better offense. I think if you're looking at the quarterbacks, I think Josh Johnson is better than Cornelius Taylor there. So I would say they got the better quarterback and the better receiving duo, and I think the running backs on both teams are pretty even. Wildcats are given one. I would say I know they're both 1-3 teams. No one has shown consistency. Vipers have been steadily getting better. LA, if it wasn't for the two missed field goals last week, they could have won that game
Well,
as
they
well
got a
in New
new
York.
kicker because the guy, I guess, got on the IR. That kicker, so maybe that's the reason
This
he
is
missed
back
so
in
many.
LA, so let's hope I think LA's going to win the game outright.
All right.
All right, well, that's our predictions for week 5. We'd like to once again say please like and subscribe, leave a comment. We'll always get back to you. We appreciate you watching, and remember, it's all for the love of football.